This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world.
I'm Bruce.
And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, here we go.
Hey, what's up?
Jody, how's it going?
Good. Sorry, as soon as I hit record, I got like a notification thing about cloud storage is full, but
Uh-oh.
So I was like, pause. What? Oh.
No. Well, hopefully this is recording. If
It is recording. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Bruce, it's another wonderful day in the neighborhood.
Oh man, it is. It has been a busy couple weeks. It feels like kind of running the gauntlet, and I mean that's a good thing, but for people with an
it's
anxious
good that
brain,
we're busy. Yeah.
So earlier this week, I was lucky enough to have your assistance on a video shoot.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So it's not out yet, so we can't talk about it, but it'll be on chubster.com soon enough. And it was a fun thing to put together, and the people involved I think had a really good time, and it'll be cool to get it done and get it out there. So
it was. I've not been involved on quite as you had quite a few different angles of cameras going on. So I was like running around making sure they were all recording and like pointed right. And,
there was
that night I was like having a little bit of like stress, like, oh my God, I hope the sound was recording on all of those different times. And I was like, okay, calm down. It's fine.
We had a lot of redundancies in place to kind of
I know,
make sure. I know. Oh, believe me, same. I'm always like, oh God, yeah. It's it was good. There was a lot of kind of camera wizardry going on as we were trying to set it all up. So it was fun to do. It had been a long time since being able to do something that was kind of that in depth, and it's always a little tricky, but having help really makes a big difference. So
it's always nice to have a couple people involved in behind the scenes stuff. I know whenever we're doing shoots, it's always like, it's nice to have like the photographer and then have someone in charge of this other thing and then have someone in charge of this thing,
Right.
Because,
totally.
At Bearskin, we're kind of a small operation still. And at the beginning, it was literally like, Bjorn's shooting the photos, I'm doing this, and then it's the model, and then that's it. And it's like trying to remember all the things. And you're just like, oh my God. Now it's like, all right, have a photographer that just worries about making sure it's in focus and the exposure is right and all those technical things. And then someone directing the shoot, and then someone kind of making sure things look good, and then a video person, oh my God. It's so nice to be able to have a couple people involved.
It is nice to have like people who specialize in those things to be able to work on some of that. And we kind of was pulling a little bit of double duty, kind of hosting, but also trying to direct a little. And I mean, I think we pulled it off. I'm excited with what I've seen so far, and once it comes out, I'm happy. I'm going to be excited to get it out. So now we're in that editing phase of let's pull everything together.
Do you ever? I know I experience this. Like, I'm always so excited at the beginning of the process for it, but then once it's like ready to come out, I'm like over it. Like, I'm not really that jazzed anymore because I've looked at it so many times, or I've like, because it's like every time we have a new print, we do all this work. And then by the time it's out, I'm kind of over it already because I've already seen it for, weeks leading up to it. And then I'm like, all right, what's the next thing? Because I'm already over this now.
Right. Yeah. You've just got it in front of you so often that you're just done. I definitely get that. I think that I always just try to look at things and be like, well, once it's out, it's not really my thing so much anymore. People can interpret it however they want. And if most things that I do or that I've done, I can always go back and look at something and be like, okay, I wish I would have done this instead of that.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I try not to go back and look at a lot of those things, especially not soon after something is finished. So it's like, yeah,
Mhm.
there's also
Yeah.
this part of like having to promote a thing once it's out. So
Hmm.
there's also that, but yeah, it's just one of those things. It's always kind of a struggle, but you know,
Yeah,
it's
I just we got some new print samples and stuff in for later in the year next year, and I'm like, oh my god, these are so amazing, because I'm like, I've looked at all the stuff that we have that's gonna be coming out soon, so for like over a year now. I've already
right.
seen it, and I'm like, like I really loved it when I first got the samples, and then like you see it, and then it's there, and
You've lived with it for a while,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah.
Everyone else hasn't seen it. No one else is.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I get that. I get that. It's good to get things out and see how people respond to them, but
Hmm.
I definitely feel like it's a lot of okay, on to the next thing.
Yep.
So
Well, yeah, because you have to
yeah,
be kind of working on stuff months down the road, and
right.
what's next? What's next?
Speaking of on to the next thing, I am about to leave the country for a photo shoot
Ooh,
the next couple days, and I
traveling man.
yeah, so I'm preparing for that, just kind of amping myself up, and I always kind of have this. There's a lot of anxiety about everything before the thing happens, and then
Yep.
the day the thing happens, or whenever I'm traveling, it's like, okay, that's gone. I got to do this, and so I'm able to wipe that away. But it's always like leading up. I'm just like, ugh,
Hmm.
So um,
Yeah, and then
this
once you get there and you're doing it, you're fine.
totally. And
Yeah,
for
I
this, it's modeling, so I'm not responsible for anything except how I pose and how I look.
looking handsome and
Right. So yeah.
you got that. That you're fine.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. So it's fun to do. It's fun and always pleasantly surprising when things like that come up. So I'm excited to go and do it, and it's an adventure, and I get to go out of the country, so I'm also excited about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. When was
And
the last time you did a big photo shoot out of the country? I
uh,
can't.
20, I want to say it was maybe 2019. Or no, you know what? It might have been 2020. I can't remember. It was either 2019 or 2020 when I did the king size / swimsuits for all shoot
Hmm. Hmm.
in Anguilla with Zach Miko and Kelvin Davis.
Nice.
We all went down there, and Ashley Graham was there, and a bunch
Oh yeah,
of
that's right.
plus size models, and so that was one of those things where it was a last minute sort of deal, and all of a sudden they were like, they had initially told me, well, you'll be shooting in New York or New Jersey, which, hey, that sounds fine to me. And then at the
Hmm.
last minute, they're like, do you have your passport? We're going to fly you down to, I think it was St. Martin. And I flew down to St. Martin and got out in this little airport and walked out of the front. And I had flown down there with Kelvin Davis, who is a model that he's a Target model, which
Yep, yep.
he's modeled for lots of different brands, Old
Yeah,
Navy,
you'd
all that.
recognize his face.
Yeah, you'd know him if you saw him. So we walked out and we walked around this like circle drive in the front of this airport, and there was like a boat dock on the other side, and we went over to it, and they had chartered like a boat for us to take from St. Martin over to Anguilla
Oh.
to where we would go through customs there. And so we're on this boat, and there's like super yachts out there in the water and all this, and it was phenomenal. And so we take this like, I don't know, 30-minute 40-minute ride across, and got over there, and we went to this resort and shot there, and it was amazing.
Was
The
it like
beaches.
White Lotus?
Yes, it actually was. Yes.
That's what I'm picturing. I'm like, oh, that sounds like, White Lotus. You come off and they have champagne on a tray, and yeah.
Totally. The first night they were celebrating the photographer for the shoot, his birthday was like that day or that
Okay.
week. And so they set up this large, long table out on the beach, on the sand. And they
Mhm.
put these torches around it. And so we went out in the evening to eat on the beach. I mean, it was ridiculous. You know, there
Yeah.
were like 26 people there. It was a huge
Yeah.
amount of people. And no, it was great. It was a lot of fun to be able to do that. And that was one of the few times that I've done this, you know, where there's a stereotypical idea of what it is, what
Mhm.
it's like to
Just over the
model.
top and
Yeah, yeah. That's like the only time that it's been like that.
Mhm.
You know, most of the other times that I've done it, it's been a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, but it's not
Mhm.
like ridiculous. Like
Yeah. It's
that's
quite different from the bearskin photo shoots, that's for sure.
which we definitely need to talk about the fact that you're with your last photo shoot, we
Oh
did
yeah.
that behind the scenes
We
video.
forgot to talk about it on the last one.
I know.
Well, I think we
So
had just done it or it had just come out. I don't remember, but
I think so. I think it had just come out. And for the last bearskin photo shoot, I did a behind the scenes video of the shoot. So
yeah.
with the guys out there, and talked to you and talked to Bjorn and kind of went through what the process was like. You know, what is
Mhm.
it like to be a big and tall model shooting out in the wilds of Oregon.
Yes. And we definitely were out there. I mean, we were kind of in a park, but we were kind of off the beaten path down by the river. It was beautiful. Yeah.
It
It
really
was
was.
it was a fun spot.
One of the things about Oregon is that it's like Portland, you know, is a major metro area. And so when you get out of the Portland metro, you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's like it just turns into wilderness and
Mhm.
you don't have to
Mhm.
go far for that to happen. And so this park was really one of those where you get kind of out of the Portland metro for the most part, you
Yeah.
know, and it's not like there were just like neighborhoods and houses around there. I mean, if
Yeah,
you
no.
watch the video, you can kind of see there's a shot toward the end that shows this, it kind of pans down a little bit. It shows the hills in the background with fog, and then there's like a bridge that goes over the river
Yeah.
there, and it's pretty neat.
Yeah,
So
it was a really good video that you did. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for
yeah, it was a lot of
coming
fun
out and
to do that.
trekking back into the woods and down by the river. I was like, everyone be careful.
Yes, and
Walking over these rocks and
those
climbing around.
models were troopers. They
Yeah, it was
you
a
know,
little chilly.
it was a little
It
chilly.
was a little chilly, but they were fine.
They persevered. They made it
Yeah.
work. So yeah.
I know we're always like, okay, so this is what we're thinking. Are you adventurous? Are you willing
Right.
to, go off the beaten path a little bit?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, they had a couple concerns, but it wasn't really that much of a hike. So
Yeah. I know. It was great. We should probably break out our drinks at this
okay,
point.
sure. What do you got for us?
So in honor of dry January, I brought an Athletic Brewing beer.
Oh,
I have
nice.
Free Wave Hazy IPA. And
Nice. I've definitely had that one.
yeah, Athletic Brewing, non-alcoholic brewery. So they do lots of different kinds of NA beers. And we just talked about this, I think, last week
Mhm.
about some of these non-alcoholic beers that are out there. And Athletic does a lot of different varieties. And I think you had a stout, right? Wasn't
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
recently?
Yeah. Something like that.
So I've got the hazy IPA, and I would say it's good. It definitely passes for a beer. You know, it's
Mhm.
a lot of these, at least in the past, when I would drink non-alcoholic beers, they didn't really get the flavor right. They weren't able to quite pull it off. And I feel like Athletic does a pretty good job. So this Free Wave Hazy IPA is, it's a good one. It doesn't say much about it on the can here, but if you're listening, you probably know what a hazy IPA sounds like. They're all
Yes.
the rage. So yeah, they have some refreshing, innovative, non-alcoholic craft brews. So there we go.
Yeah. Free Wave Hazy IPA is meant for the open road. Blah blah blah. This mouth-watering IPA is loaded with Amarillo, Citra, and Mosaic hops. So
Nice.
all the traditional kind of hops for those. And I
Yeah.
also have a Athletic Brewing one. I was just going back to mine. I have just the regular IPA, the
Ooh,
Run Wild IPA.
good one.
So again, it has the Citra and Mosaic hops at the forefront. Body of premium organic malts from the US and Germany, subtle yet complex malt profile.
Nice.
The blend of Northwest hops. That's fun, but it's from Athletic Brewing's in Connecticut.
Oh, interesting. Well, um, the one that you're drinking is my favorite of theirs. So, it's smooth, it's flavorful. The good thing is that all of their beers that I've had, they taste like beers. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's nice to have that, especially when you're not looking to, get the effects that come along with alcohol consumption. So,
Yes, you get the craving satisfied for the beer malt hop flavor.
right.
But yeah, like you said, without the hangover or the slowdown or the
Right.
whatever, especially
No
when
buzz.
we're recording at something time in the morning. So I gotta
Yes,
get stuff done
exactly.
today. I'm running the bearskin ship all alone today, so I got stuff to do.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Yeah. So let's see what else. Ooh.
Oh, it's already on
Yeah.
my list. I can't add it.
So yeah, check out our untapped list so you can uh see all the beers that we've enjoyed and find your favorites and give them a try. There are many, and we try to keep that updated so you can see.
Yeah. And let us know if you are enjoying any NA beverages for dry January. Hit us up on social. Let us know if you're enjoying it, if you're hating it, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yes.
Getting messages while I'm trying to do this.
Always. So yeah, I heard that the Golden Globes just happened recently.
Oh yeah. I didn't actually watch the entire thing because I kind of don't know what I was doing. I got distracted. It was on a Tuesday. I think that's why I was like, wait, what is it happening now? Or are they just talking about it?
Right.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But
well, that's the thing, is it felt like it kind of came out of nowhere and it was happening. And it
yeah,
was
well,
like,
apparently it didn't happen last year or maybe even the year before. Like it didn't happen. There was all the controversy with, them not having any diversity or any black members on the board or whatever you want to call it.
right.
So there's a lot of
Right.
controversy there. Apparently they got lots of changes going on with the foreign press whatever thing going on. So
Yeah.
it looked like they definitely made some changes for this year. They got a lot of diversity in the award recipients this year, so hopefully that will continue. Yeah, there was a couple things. I love Jennifer Coolidge, so
Yes.
she's always a standout for me. She won for White Lotus, but then she did some other things. I just love her, so I think it's fun.
Yeah. There were definitely some good ones. I realized how many things I have not seen.
I know that always every award show I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
What show
Right.
is that?
Always. Yeah. So it's
And I feel like I watch too much TV, so I'm like,
totally.
I
Yes.
can't watch more to know but yeah.
I know
Apparently I'm not watching the shows.
right.
or
You're not
the
watching the right
movies.
TV.
God.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah. So there were some good ones. We even had a couple big guys show up, and we had one gentleman of size who was a winner.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Paul. Is it Hauser?
Yes.
Hauser? Oh, now my laptop doesn't like that link. Okay. What
Paul
happened?
Walter Hauser.
Yes. Sorry. All of a sudden so he won for a show that another show that I've never seen, or it's a Blackbird. I was like, I don't even know what this was, but I'm trying to think what else he was from that people might
Cobra Kai. That was totally
oh
it. Yeah.
yeah, that he
Cobra
was
Kai
in
was the one
that.
because it was one of those cases where you're like, where do I know this guy from? I'm looking at some of the other things here. I think you should leave with Tim Robinson, which I loved. He was in that Cruella,
Oh, I
which
Tanya. Oh yeah, Cruella. Yeah. Yeah,
yes,
he's been in a lot of things.
oh
So
yeah, yeah,
um it's definitely nice to see some big boys up there winning
yeah.
and looking pretty good in a tuxedo. So that was nice.
Man, he's been in a ton of stuff. Now I'm going
Yeah.
back. I'm like, okay, yeah. It's funny. That always seems like that's how it works, and you always see people kind of talking about that whenever they're they win their. I don't know if it's his first award, but
Hmm.
bands will talk about that a lot, where they're like, we're this new sensation, but we've been doing this for 10 years
Oh,
or
well, yeah.
15 years, and I think it's the same thing with, especially in this day and age when there's so much stuff just coming at us all at the same time.
Hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, you got to put in all that work and then all of a sudden you'll just pop off and then you'll be everywhere. And
Right,
they're like, "Oh, overnight success." And it's like, "No, actually not, but you know,
right,
been doing it
right.
forever."
Yep, yep. So Blackbird. So let's see. Was Blackbird Apple TV? That's what I thought.
Oh, okay. That's why I haven't seen it. I
Yes.
have Apple
So,
TV, but I don't remember it that I have it. So,
there are a lot of really good shows that you might not think about. There are some that, I could take or leave, but there's some good stuff, and it's worth kind of revisiting. I'm gonna have to watch this.
I know. And now I'm like, this looks good.
Yeah, I saw when it I saw the preview for it when it was coming out, and I thought, man, this looks really good. And looks like yeah, it's based on a novel, an autobiographical novel. Oh, there we
Mm.
go, with Taron Egerton.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And Liotta.
Oh yes, the late great Ray Liotta. Yeah. So definitely check it out. Like I said, I didn't watch, so I didn't see anything else.
I just saw that Maddie Matheson was there. He was rocking a fun outfit on the, well, I guess it wasn't red carpet, but the red carpet. He had kind of a tuxedo on, but he had like this different kind of bow tie on, which was kind of funky and fun because he's got his own distinct kind of
Oh, I'm
out
looking at
there
this.
look.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I like it. It looks nice.
Yes.
You can check out his Instagram, Maddie Matheson.
Yes. Look at that. Fantastic.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, I know speaking of Maddie Matheson, who was on the Bear,
mhm.
I know Jeremy Allen White got Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy TV Series for The Bear. So, the
Oh
thing
yeah.
with that is it's interesting to look at the categories that they put people in, they nominate them for, because it's like, was it a comedy? Was The Bear a comedy?
Yeah, no.
Did it have funny moments? Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to see. But then I also get that because it's like, when you're up against a ton of dramas, and it's going to be hard to compete in there, but you've got a great show that needs to be recognized. Here's how you get there. So, I can see that. It's just it's interesting.
Yeah, what is it? Musical, comedy, or what?
Yeah. So
musical comedy series. Yeah, I would not say that was a musical or a comedy.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I think House of the Dragon also won for like best drama or something. And I've talked about how
I'm like, really?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I just can't, like, of course I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to watch it like that every time. Okay, it's on. But I mean, it was up against like Better Call Saul, which was on its last season, The Crown, Ozark, Severance. I guess Severance was good. I liked Severance. Did I love Severance? I don't know. I thought it was great though. I mean, but people were like losing their minds about that show.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting. And again, another one that I will watch next season.
It was kind of cool to see that Angela Bassett won. Isn't she like the first person from the whatever is it MC or
From the MCU, like for a Marvel show?
Yeah, to win like a major award.
Maybe so. And what I'll say about that is that I remember watching Wakanda Forever, and there's a specific scene in there where she just like kills it. And I remember thinking, man, this is so good. She is so good. But there's no way that she would win an award for a Marvel movie. So I'm very glad that I was proven wrong, because she was phenomenal.
Sometimes, there is a standout performance like that. And
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Because sometimes those shows are just so like CGI'd, and the performances are kind of
totally.
What am I trying to say? Overshadowed by all the the battles and the CGIs and the whatever.
Right.
That they kind of rely on that instead of the performances. So but yeah, I've seen clips of. I haven't actually seen that movie, so but I have seen clips of it. So
yeah, it was good. It was a good movie, but she definitely took it to another level. So that's great.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes,
I'm excited to. I always inevitably do start watching those shows that get big awards. I'm like, oh, maybe I should check that out. Maybe it is better than I had thought it was, or I'd never even heard of this movie, or whatever. So I'll go check them out. I'm sure there'll be categories on all the different streaming places of the award-winning shows or whatever. So
yeah, I'm gonna try to do a better job of watching things when they come out, and kind of doing a better job of keeping track of those things. There's just so much stuff that comes out, and it's hard to remember. When you're in December thinking about all the things that you watch throughout the year, January feels like 10 years ago. So yeah. So there we go.
Definitely difficult. And like I was saying, I'm like, I already feel like I watch too much TV, so I don't know if I can do more.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Well, I don't really have a lot of other things. I just feel like this week and next week and probably the week after, this month is just kind of like running the gauntlet,
It is. I know we gotta get our next photo shoot going, and it's busy, but there's almost too much going on.
Yep,
keeping us busy. So I hope y'all are having a successful dry January, or just a fun start to the new year, and we'll try and keep it together and power through all the stuff we got going on.
There we go.
All right. Well, till next time, Bruce.
Until next time, Jody.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.